What's goody? YouTube boy Jersey here. And as you can see, we moved into the new spot, and I decided I was gonna do this video a little while ago. But I thought it'd be somewhat interesting, especially because I started doing a little bit more like talking style videos. Um, well, it's gonna be my anime top 10. Now, what I see doing in the future is I plan on getting um, my friends to do their anime top 10. Um, and then we may end up expanding it to like just shows in general at some point. But for now, it's just gonna be anime. Um, Starting with, we're gonna go backwards. We're gonna go from 10 to 1. So number 10 is a one that's low-key kind of special, specifically for like 2 people on this planet, or 3 people on this planet, is Erased. You guys don't know, Erased is most definitely a solid anime. It's about this guy who has this ability to like basically go back in time. He's trying to find his childhood crush's like killer. But me and my friends binge watched it on my couch until like 4 in the morning. So that one kind of deserves a place because it always has a like really good memory in my soul. Number 9 kind of surprised me when I was making this list because I got down to like 9 and 10. I was kind of like, I don't know really what to put here, but then I thought about it that there's some animes that I liked that I couldn't really remember the name of, so I was scrolling on Crunchyroll and found them. Number 9 was one of them, and that was Another. Another was like a thriller, almost kind of horror-y kind of thing, where basically this one specific class was like uber cursed, and they kept on like dying in terribly gruesome ways. And I found that show interesting. Like, the plot was incredible from start to finish, literally, to the point where, I mean, I just genuinely was intrigued from legitimately start to finish. Number 8 is another weird one, and that is Fruits Basket. And I totally don't like it because the men are absolutely attractive. I totally like it because the plot is deep and slightly interesting, even though like I'm pretty sure all the dudes are zodiac signs, which is the only downside to that entire show. But I don't know, I always found it really interesting. Number 7. Number 7 could have been higher if the last like 14 episodes weren't pointless, or if a certain character would have lost instead of winning. And that is Death Note. I will die on this hill. I don't think Light should have won. I think that the final outcome, if it was Light winning, that should have been when the anime stopped. I feel like L should have won, in my own personal opinion, just because he had a god complex. I don't think Light should have won anyway. But Death Note, I don't know if I said it, but Death Note is the 7th anime. The last 14 episodes didn't exist. I had it like 4 or 5. When I was making the list, I was talking to one of my friends, Andrew, and I didn't remember that the last like 14 episodes. I remember the parts. I remember bits and pieces from the last 14 episodes. So I thought it was like 2 episodes, but he reminded me that it was about 14 episodes. So yeah, and no one really liked everything after L died. I mean, you can't lie to me and tell me you did. Now, number 6 might shock a few people, but not really. Number 6 is Kuroko's Basketball. If you guys don't know, it's simply this is the simplest way to put this. That is the single best sports anime that is out right now. I don't care what you have to say about anything else. Blue Lock might be close. I do like what I'm seeing from Blue Lock, from the manga panels I've seen from Blue Lock. But right now, Kuroko's Basketball is number 1. At first, at first, I wasn't really hooked with what is his name? Kisei, the copy dude. I wasn't really hooked on it, but the single moment I seen the shooter play, I knew I was gonna like this. I knew I was gonna like this anime. And basically I almost binged it. I basically watched it in like maybe 2 weeks. Maybe a week. But it's chef's kiss. I couldn't say anything bad about it really. Which to be said about basically almost everything in my top 10. They're all peak fiction to me. However, some of them, the ones below 6, in my opinion, have a flaw that I don't that makes them not go up higher. Now, number 5. Now, there's a specific person I want to note on who genuinely swears I have not watched Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Andrew, I've seen it plenty of times. Now, number 5 is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Obviously, I knew this was going to be on the list, and everything from 5 to 1, if you know me, should make sense. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Had I started with it, probably would be number 1. It's most definitely like legitimately peak fiction. Like, for example, I don't think it really has a major flaw. It's legitimately, if you like the concept or not, determines whether or not you like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. There are some scenes in there that are a little weird that could maybe throw you off, especially, I didn't remember that Sho Tucker's little incident was like really stupidly early. So if you can get past that and start getting into the actual like legitimate, like if you got past that and didn't think the show was going to be stupidly weird, then you obviously know that it's peak fiction. There are some people that probably dropped it then because they were like, man, I just watched a dad turn her daughter into a dog. Like, what the fuck? Not for me. But if you made it past that, you know. Next up on the list, I know a lot of people, specifically my 2 friends, definitely thought this anime might have been like top 3. But it is the entire Fate series. I didn't want to single them out because if I did, it would legitimately be half this list. Because Fate Zero would have been on the list. Fate Stay Night would have been on this list. Fate Haka, whatever, I can't say that word, would have been on the list. And then maybe Grand Order would have been on the list. If not, it would have been in an honorable mention. The Fate series, it's legitimately not, it's like not an anime, it is a lifestyle, legitimately. If you watch the Fate series, if you haven't watched the Fate series, it's criminally underrated. It's not really as underrated anymore because people know about it a lot more now than they used to, by TikTok and TikTok edits requiring animation to be, and that show has animation and like all of its series. So if you have not seen, if you want a great show that has really good action but actually has like a plot behind it, then the Fate series is the way to go. Just start with and I know a lot of people are intimidated by not knowing which one to start with. Start with hold on, I gotta think. Start with Zero, because Zero's, the way the Fate series works is it's got 3 different path lines you can go based on the MC of Stay Night's choice for his girlfriend. I kid you not. Like the movies, Heaven's Feel or whatever, it's when he chooses another girl. Fate Stay Night is when he chooses, it sets up the 3 pathways, but Unlimited Blade Works is when he chooses Rin. Stuff like that. So you start with Zero. Zero is the prelude to both of those, even though it was created after. It's the prelude and explains like the Holy Grail War a lot better than Stay Night does. Start with Zero, go to Stay Night, watch all of Stay Night. If you can find the movies, watch the movies after Stay Night. And then you can go on to any of like the spin-offs, and then eventually you'll get to Grand Order at some point. Grand Order is the last one. Number 3. Now, a lot of people probably thought this one was probably going to be number 2, just because I talk about it a lot, especially on TikTok. Follow me on TikTok. Shameless plug. It's One Piece. Now, in my opinion, my two my 2 and 3 are interchangeable for me. Either, it just depends on what day I'm feeling. However, I put 2 specifically on 2 because of some things that I like more. For example, in One Piece, the plot of the show is legitimately, it's like Luffy plus random side character, right? And I don't really like Luffy. So the Luffy parts don't really get to me. Like, for example, one of my favorite arcs, Enies Lobby, it was Luffy plus Robin. I love Robin. Enies Lobby is one of my favorite arcs because Robin was like 90% of the arc, and then they had Luffy do some fights. But that's just kind of the things that happen with me, with watching anime with me. I tend to not like MCs, especially really, really annoying MCs. And there's a couple of other characters that are really relevant that I don't really like Sanji. And it's only because Sanji's pervert thing gets old quick. So it's just little things like that just, I had to like barely take off like points for that. But then they also have moments where like Zoro does something crazy, Luffy does something crazy, any of those characters do something crazy, and I'm just back on the edge of my seat or whatever. So it's definitely still peak fiction. However, I have at number 2 slot, I have Bleach slightly higher, just because in my opinion, I feel more threatened. Like, I like to be sitting in my chair watching an anime and feel like there's a chance we might genuinely lose somebody or something. And in One Piece, I don't feel that. But in Bleach, I definitely feel that. The plot is just way deeper, in my opinion. Like, if you narrow down the plot of Bleach, it's like Ichigo trying to take care of everyone he's cared about. And the people he cared about branch from way over here to like right here. So it ends up being way deeper. In my opinion, One Piece is literally just a pirate journey. So the plot gets deep, but when you dumb it down, in my opinion, I think Bleach just has a better plot, personally speaking. Bleach most definitely has the better MC. It also has the single best MC in the entire Big 3, in my personal opinion. Most enjoyable MC, I should say. And the concept of Soul Reapers, Zanpakutos, Quincy's, all of them is just far cooler than pirates and weird fruits that give you superpowers, personally speaking. But like I said, One Piece and Bleach, they're both still peak fiction. Everything above 6, well, even 7 is peak fiction, to before or after, before L dies. So everything above 6 is peak fiction to me. Now, number 1 will always remain number 1. It doesn't matter what anime I have or what anime come out, what anime I end up really enjoying. Number 1 will stay number 1 until I pass away. And that is Naruto. Naruto helped me with too many problems in my young life. Then its plot is great, its concept is great, its MC is great. He's a little annoying in pre-Shippuden, but he gets a little better in Shippuden. The only flaw it has is side characters and world building. The world building in One Piece, world building in Naruto makes 0 sense half the time. And then the side characters came from being incredibly relevant to barely existing. Shout out my boy Rock Lee. But that's my anime top 10. I'm gonna give you guys some honorable mentions. I'm not gonna talk about them too long, because this video is already 15 minutes. I wanted to make it like 15-17 minutes, anywhere between then. I'll give you 4 honorable mentions. My Hero Academia, it's definitely gonna move up later when the war arcs hit. It'll probably like make another drop or erase one of the two of them. Um, My Hero is great. If you can get past Deku crying, it's really just a great show. And even when Deku does cry, most of the moments are there's a reason to it. And then JJK, honestly, I debated putting it on the list. JJK is really, really good. I think it's only gonna get better. It doesn't stray very far from like Bleach's darkness, which is one of the role models it had. So later on, I do tend to like dark shit in my anime. So it'll move up. It'll move up definitely. My third honorable mention would be Citrus. Moving on, my fourth honorable mention would have been the whole Dragon Ball franchise. Now, I have to talk about this one for a little bit. I do love Dragon Ball, and I do love Dragon Ball Z, and I did like early Super. I think everything post Goku Black Arc was a little much for me at times. However, the Universe 6 tournament was good. Top was good. And most of the arcs were good. However, I do have a slight beef with them that they keep doing Vegeta wrong. So if they keep on doing Vegeta wrong, it's not going back up to the top 10. Respect. I do apologize. If my boys Piccolo and Vegeta aren't hard carrying at some point, and it ain't going back up to the top 10. However, this is my anime list. Let me know what you guys think. I do plan on getting my boys in here at some point to do theirs. With that being said, I'm out. Peace out.